Yeah, we're 2 laps.
I'll just have to squint at the screen to see who's doing what, but I know most of these guys.
We're live. Welcome everybody to the Races Elite Superspeedway series. We are just running a little bit behind. Things happen like that, but nonetheless, Greg McConey leading us after 3 laps. Brendan Honeycutt also leading us. You know, running second. Chase Greer running in at third spot. Roland Lloyd is running back there in fifth. Kimberly Smith is setting the fastest lap of the race so far.
Yeah, everybody, that's Alan, the voice of Alan Bergen, the producer for this evening. I am Steve Lake, sitting here in the 22,000 Memorial Broadcast booth. It's Talladega, baby! So I get the infield parties rolling, and we're going to have ourselves a great time tonight. So let's raise some hell and praise some Dale and have some fun with this race, shall we?
Well, look, you know, it wouldn't be Talladega if someone didn't have the big one sooner, or you know, somewhere in there. But
don't jinx it.
Hey, nonetheless, we're you know what? We're gonna have a lot of fun tonight, though.
You know that opening shot we came into? I swear I was seeing Julio Stone's and then I'm instantly traveling back to 2006 with Talladega Nights.
Oh, that one?
There it is. Yeah, either that's Julio Stone's for men or a really weird Atlanta Braves logo. Yeah, it's a Braves car. That looks like Julio Stone's for men. This is what I get for scrolling on eBay prior to getting on here. Because someone actually has a custom diecast of Julio Stone's for men from Talladega Nights up for bid right now.
Right now, Richard Odie runs 7th position. Whoa,
and he gets burned. Damn it, Alan, you had to jinx it the moment we got here.
Can't park there. Look, you're the one that told me to park the car.
Oh, I didn't tell you to park it in somebody's path.
No.
Oh, here we go. Unbelievable.
Let's see what happened to Richard Odie.
I think the easiest thing is either he got a bump draft that went wrong or he came up on the Braves machine and yeah. That's how we get the first one out of the way, ladies and gentlemen. 5 laps in.
Yeah, let's get it out of the way quick, right?
Yeah, and well, it looks like either he got loose or the thing just shoved up. No one was really behind him taking the air off the car, so it looks like, I would say, oh, there it is.
Bad bump, maybe?
I don't know who was in that red car, but they got into, they caused this whole deal.
That was one Mr. Truth Hoke.
Oh, Hoke got into it and set this party off.
Here we are, lap number 6, and we are already under our first caution. Terry Fennell, well, he took the Braves all the way to pit road.
Further than what they got in the postseason.
You had to go there, didn't you?
I'm a Red Sox fan. I'm allowed to.
Hey,
we didn't even make the playoffs.
I got nothing for you on that one. Let's just put it this way: Dave Regal's Phillies made it a lot further in the playoffs than we did, than the St. Louis Cardinals or your Boston Red Sox.
Oh, trust me, I've had many discussions on my morning show dealing with the New England sports teams around here. I mean, granted, the Celtics are being the Celtics, but I don't know what's going on with the Bruins. The Red Sox failed me. New England, well, they're playing like they got 38-day-old Mayo in their shoes. I'm not impressed.
I mean, New England is because they don't have Tom Brady and their perfect hair.
Oh, they don't have Brady. They don't have Belichick and Robert
inflated
Kraft.
balls.
Carry on with that.
Hey, we know what she did. We know what she did in 2000.
Oh,
2003.
At least you didn't know what I did. At least you didn't know what I did last summer. You see what I did there?
You've been hanging out with Dave way too much. But nonetheless, here we are, lap number 7 out of 75. Coming in just a little. Look, we just brought this broadcast in a little hot. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah, YouTube decided to backfire on us like an '86 Buick, and it took a few minutes, but we took the wrench to her, and we're fine now.
Yes. As it should be. As it should be. Sometimes you just gotta come in a little hot. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Gotta come in a little hot.
I'm telling you right now, that's the next car iRacing needs to add is the '87 Buick.
Okay.
I mean, I know
they already have it.
Oh, they do. That's right. My brain's not functioning. I need more Mountain Dew in my system. Give me a second here.
Okay, that's fair.
This is what happens when I get woke up out of basically being half asleep.
You got a massaging chair.
Yes, thank God. I need it being 6'4".
Brendan Honeycutt's going to lead this thing as we're getting ready to go back under green flag conditions. We're 2 laps away from getting, or 1 lap away from getting these guys lined up Noah's Ark style behind the iRacing.com base car. And we are essentially, 2 laps away from going back to green flag. When we come back to green, though, Shane, Brandon Honeycutt, Kinsley Smith, and Chase Greer are going to be your top 3 runners right now. Greg McConey. Now, here's the thing about Greg McConey. I don't know if you've seen him race, but he is one of those guys, Shane, that will coach these drivers as they're racing.
Yeah, McConey has been solid on the restrictor plates for the races I've covered with these guys, so it's not surprising that he pulls the coach card out and actually, helps them out, because at the end of the day, we want to see everybody do well. So if a competitor knows a few tricks that even I don't know, I'm willing to listen.
Absolutely. As we are getting lined up 2 by 2, Noah's Ark style, behind that iRacing.com pace car. Keep in mind here at Talladega that the start-finish line is not in the middle of the tri-oval, but it's at the end of the start-finish line. And they did that so that way Bill France could sell more seats at Talladega. And, he wanted to create that excitement, but essentially to sell more seats.
Yeah, because if the start-finish line is in the tri-oval, you're only going to sell all the tri-oval seats, obviously. But if you move it down towards turn 1, you can put more seats around the tri-oval into turn 1, and everyone's going to want to be there. Also gives you a great view of pit road.
Yes, it does. So we are working lap number 8. We're getting ready to come back to green flag racing here. The iRacing.com pace car brings this field into the turn 3-4 complex.
Yeah, these guys, I know that 15 car is going to be dangerous up front, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him try to get a jump on the start here and try to settle down in as Barney's got the green flag ready to go. The field will be coming into view here quite shortly. Matter of fact, where are they? There they are. Barney's going to wave the green flag, and we're back racing. Lap number 9 is about to be in the books.
And here we go. It's a smaller field than we're used to seeing on a Thursday night or a Tuesday or Wednesday, but nonetheless, I'm about a half step behind. Here we go. Wow.
It's one of those Friday nights.
I mean, look, it's Friday night. We got 75 laps to
go. Yeah, 75 lapper. We got 65 coming up here to finish this party out. We still got 1, if not possibly 2, depending on how cautions come out. There's still a lot of strategy.
Absolutely, and now as we're high above the Talladega Superspeedway in Lincoln, Alabama, you got Kinsley Smith and Brandon Honeycutt doing Brandon Honeycutt, Kinsley Smith things. Now, Greg McConey, don't count him out because he's been very close on a lot of these races. If he hasn't won, he's finishing the top 3.
Yeah, McConey's just lurking right now. The biggest thing about Talladega, and as somebody who's competed there and been wrecked there and came back and been wrecked and came back again, it's a chess game. And it's just a matter of where you're able to put your car right at the end of this. So, and McConey's always been able to find his way up front at the end of these races. So it doesn't surprise me he's up there now. I wouldn't be surprised to see him up there at the end.
Absolutely. And as you say that, here we go. We got some great battling going on right now as we are 3 wide, and that's essentially for second place that we're 3 wide for. And as Brendan Honeycutt, he is pretty much the Lone Ranger. Now here comes Chris Blasi, and it looks like Colin McDonough is starting to have some connection issues in that 39 car. But here comes Greg McConey getting the right push for Rowan Lloyd out of Hudson, Illinois. And that inside line is here, and I mean, he even got help for Troy Thomas.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter who you get help with in which line. It's just a matter of actually how you're able to make that one produce. And that middle line, even though it's usually the sucker hole, it produced itself the lead right now because McConey is up at the front.
Yeah, gives the lead to Greg McConey. Gives second place to Rowan Lloyd. That's the Team Outsiders contingent right there, pushing for all it's worth. And right now, Greg McConey leads this freight train, this 180-mile-an-hour chess match. Troy Thomas mired to that outside line there in third position.
Yeah, right now the Outsiders have got top 3 spots locked down. It doesn't surprise me. These guys know how to work well at places like this. I wouldn't be surprised to see them, well, we already had some controversy at Martinsville last week, and I won't be surprised we have a little bit of fun here with team orders just saying, hey, look, ride behind right now. Let's try to sell it between ourselves at the end.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. So you don't really see it with, you don't really see it here in iRacing too much in some of the smaller leagues. But when you're in a league like a Sunday night NASCAR type of league, then you probably see it a little bit more. But, the team contingent is definitely there. As right now, Rowan Lloyd is pushing Greg McConey. And as you see there, the Toyotas Fords really don't, draft very well. Talking to Troy Thomas, who is our one half of our Wednesday night team, he likes racing the Fords at Superspeedways. I know it's kind of weird to see a number 3 plastered all over a Ford Mustang, but
we all know though that Earnhardt did race a Ford a couple of times in his career.
He did.
Big Bud Moore, 82-83.
I believe it's the number 15 car.
Wrangler sponsorship. Yep.
I know a little bit of my NASCAR history.
I've actually got a diecast of the 82 T-Bird that Earnhardt had. So, yeah, I got a little bit of history here.
Here's the thing, Shane. I quit you with our past knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
With all the fun facts of yesteryear, if you will, and you bring a lot of that to the table, and it's really special, especially when you can go into that vault and bring that up. Working out number 14 right now of the 75 that's scheduled to be run. Greg McConey still leads this one, and now the outside line has the advantage. Now you're going to see the outside line, lose some cars here and there, and we're going to have a lot of comers and goers. Now,
yeah,
Shane,
this is going to be a yo-yo race for sure, because there's going to be some guys getting shuffled out because they're going to try to make moves that won't stick, and then some guys are going to try to drop into a different line. It's just going to be a battle of putting yourself in the right position when the time matters most. Right now, it really doesn't 100% matter. If you're able to hang on to a draft line, you're good to go. Get through the pit stop and then worry about the second half of the race. But if it comes down to it and you take yourself out of the competition, well, it's going to be a long way back to the tail end of the line.
It's a long road to the top. No doubt about it. Shane, you and I have both been on Talladega, together.
Yep.
One of us fared a little better than the other.
Only by one position, even though I had to put the back tailgate back on my truck.
But hey, hey, I take you out of Talladega. You come to work for SRM.
Yeah, that's
It's funny how life happens, right?
That's what you call a full circle moment. And my first race here ends up being Talladega, no less. So go figure.
Chris Blasi on the inside line, trying that up there. He's going to lead Colin McDonough, Terry Fennell, Andrew Tuft, and Kirby Wainscott. And so I was here on Wednesday night, and it went good until it didn't. Talladega's Talladega.
Yeah. There's always going to be that one moment where it all breaks loose.
Yes. And it doesn't matter if you're a professional or not. The big one's gonna pop off. It's either gonna happen at the beginning or the end.
You just hope you're well enough away from it so you can actually get back into the race later.
So I say that to ask you this, Shane. Now your strategy is, mine's always to ride in the back, and wherever the cards will fall is where they fall.
Oh, I am vastly different. If I had my strategy actually varies a little bit from where I qualify. If I'm up inside the top 10, I'm going to hang inside that top 10, if not try to get up to the lead and try to dictate the race. If I'm towards the back of the pack, yeah, I'll ride for a bit. But if I know I've got a strong enough car that can make moves, I'll start making them if I know that I can do it without, jeopardizing myself. So for me, it more depends on where I qualify for what my strategy is going to be. In this type of race, yeah, I'd probably hang towards the back, just kind of be easy on the car, save a little bit. And then, again, second half of the race, if I know my car can make moves, that's when I start showing my hand.
Right now, as we're looking at lap 18, getting ready to come to 19 of 75, Greg McConey and Rowan Lloyd, they're running 1-2 right now. But as you notice, as we were high above the racetrack in the drone, why we gave Matt Butler the keys to the drone, again, I don't know why, but we do.
Why do we keep doing that?
I mean, look, he's a decent pilot, I guess.
Oh, well, as long as we don't end up with the thing in the trees or in the infield covered in Coors, I think we'll be fine.
Right now, right back here in that, 6th, 7th position, Chris Blasi, he's struggling on the inside line as he's got a little bit of help from Colin McDonough. Now, here's the thing about Chris Blasi. Chris Blasi, I believe that you can get behind the wrong car and it could actually slow you down.
Yeah, it's entirely possible because some people may have their philosophy of I'm a better pusher than I am, being pushed. And right now, being behind Blasi is costing that entire inside line. It doesn't help they're not that organized anyway. I mean, there's a lot of distance between the bottom 5 cars than there is in that top line. That top line's way more organized, and you're seeing the effectiveness of the organization of that top lane because Blasi has not been able to move at all from where he's been in that bottom lane for the last handful of laps.
No, you look like they're a little bit further around 12th and 13th, or 11th and 13th. The tail end of the inside line, you got Andrew Tuft and Kirby Wainscott working together. Now, those are 2 Chicken Coops racing teammates there. And Colin McDonough is what, you would effectively call it a satellite team. He's always he's in their Discord. He's always working with these guys. As
right.
So
it's like the Wood brothers and Penske.
Yeah, we go with that one. We're getting up to 21 right now. Roland Lloyd still pushing the bejeebus out of Greg McConey, and Greg McConey's like, he's coaching Rowan the whole time. Bump me here, bump me there, don't bump me in the corner.
Yeah, you can see how close everything is going down the straightaways. But the smart guys, and if you have the coach in front of you that's helping you out with this, they know how to give just enough slack to where when they're able to get back on the straightaway, they're not coming up the body zone. They're just going to come up enough just to give you a little bit of a knock and keep pushing you forward.
Yeah, last night, The Race to the Elite Cup Series was in Phoenix. And, well, yours truly was not in the field. I was off doing dirt racing. As I was trying to race the pro qualifying race for the World of Outlaws E-Series and their pro series coming up.
Did you remember to map the tear-off button?
I did.
Thank God.
Well, I qualified 6th at Volusia.
No, that's not bad.
And I got yeeted.
First off, I keep saying they need to turn Volusia into Cleveland as well, so that's some of the nostalgia back. But yeah, getting yeeted at a dirt track's never fun.
It never is.
It looks like we got a little bit of excitement going on here. Honeycutt and Caden have decided to drop down to the inside line, try to pick them up and start getting a little headway here.
So now, Kinsley Smith and Brandon Honeycutt said, you know what, we've had enough of Greg McConey leading this race. Now it's our turn.
Yeah, and those two boys have picked the inside line up, and now we got ourselves a good old two-lane battle on the tracks.
I mean, this is like Interstate I-95 on rush hour traffic, for sure. But here we are.
Don't remind me. Too many memories. Are you forgetting the I-95 corridor runs straight from Maine down to Sebring? No, wait, it goes further than that. What am I talking about?
We're in lap number 24 of 75. I want to thank everybody for making Sim Racing Media and the Race of Elite Superspeedway Series your entertainment destination on a Friday evening. And, you know, Shane Lake and myself, Alan Bergen, and the Tony Trapasso Memorial Studio. You guys call it a booth, I call it a studio. I don't know why. But at any rate, we're just south of St. Louis. He's up in Maine. And we're at Talladega. I mean,
don't you just love how small the world is when it comes to racing online?
I mean, I kind of feel like we're Fred Flintstone-ing.
Yeah,
we could truly be.
Does have that feeling.
I mean, we could truly be two places at once. And right now, McConey's trying to be back out in the front. As here comes Rowan Lloyd Finn running that second position. And that outside line just has the slightest advantage over the inside line. Not much, but just a slight advantage.
Yeah, you got the nose sticking out a little bit there. So the train tracks are finally starting to develop again here. And it's literally each line is train tracking. And this is where it gets fun.
Yeah, I mean, when you don't have a guy named Alan Bergen on the racetrack, it's going to be a lot of fun for these drivers.
And at least it keeps cars from getting put on the hauler destroyed.
I take a shot at myself, and then you just have to go and put the grenade in there with it.
You open up the 50 caliber, I'm like, nah, screw this. I'm putting an RPG in here. I'm GTAing this thing tonight, baby.
Oh, boy. Grand Theft Auto got nothing on Shane Lake.
GTA 6 will come out before anything else. Oh, brother.
So, nonetheless, you know, we're watching Greg McConey right now and Rowan Lloyd continue to lead this piece. But, you know, the real life NASCAR has a bit of business to solve this weekend. And there's a championship to be won.
There's 3 of them. Currently, the truck race is going on. I don't know what's up with that story. I wish I knew, but unfortunately, everything I've got to try to watch it in the background ain't working, so I'll have to check the highlights later. We've got Xfinity tomorrow, and we've got the Cup on Sunday.
Now, for those that are wondering, Shane Lake refers to a morning show. Shane, now's your time to give the shameless plug.
Oh, we're going to do this D-Generation X style. Okay, thank you. Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 usually, here on YouTube. You'll find me on Snowman in the morning. If you check out Snowman Multimedia, search that, you'll see the show. We talk all sorts of sports. We do Thursdays and Fridays our college football and our pro football picks. Anything else, we're talking basketball, hockey, NASCAR. We got amazing segments, great guests who come on. We've had radio voices come in. We've had Emmy award-winning producers come in. And you'll even get to hear some of our alter egos come out, like Father Sean O'Shaughnessy, who currently is not liking the way the things are going in New England and Foxborough. So, needless to say, you check us out Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. here on YouTube. Snowman Multimedia. The show is Snowman in the Morning. Feel free to check it out. Get active in the chat and enjoy some of the chaos, because trust me, I don't have a whole lot of control during the picking shows at all. Like none. Like literally, we have an over/under on how long it takes before I lose control. Today we were one game in, and I completely lost control. It only took like 3 minutes.
Well, right now, True Toke is sitting in the middle of a sandwich as he is bleeding positions, and so is the 17 car Judson Curtis. That's a new name.
Yeah, I think these guys might actually intentionally be dropping to the back a little bit just to ride, because Truth and Judson were actually up front a little bit more. Now they're just kind of riding safely off the back of the train, but just enough to actually keep the draft a little bit. So this could be a strategy move.
And that's that proverbial sweet spot.
Yeah, it is.
You know, you guys see you have radio personalities on there. I haven't heard Dave on there yet.
No, we're working on it. We've had Wayne Larrabee, the voice of the Green Bay Packers, on. Matt Taylor, voice of the Indianapolis Colts. We're working on getting a handful of other people to come on. So it's just a matter of time before we start cycling down to the bottom of the barrel.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yep. I know Dave's gonna take a shot at me eventually. I mean, I've already moved up from work mistress to work wife, so I know I'm gonna end up getting a shot taken at me eventually.
Well, don't be tripping. You got promoted by default.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Well, Judson Curtis hits the fastest lap of the race with a 49.27, and that was on lap, 30.
Yeah,
wow.
Because we was able to we can math today.
We're doing St. Louis math.
Oh, it's better than Maine math.
You know, they have this Common Core math out now.
Yeah, I heard it's pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, the big thing that was big thing that Dirksen was able to do was he was able to actually get such a toe from the draft, keep his foot in it, and he was like 5, 6, 7 car lengths back, and now he's already halfway up inside the top 10, up in that top lane, as we got somebody else stuck in the middle. It looks like.
Well, here comes, as you say that, here comes Andrew Tuft. Kirby White Scott and Colin McDonough bringing that thing right up the middle, like the quarterback and the halfback. You know, when they run that classic I formation.
Yeah,
and they just take the ball and shove it right down the middle.
It's the Patty Mahomes special.
Sure, we'll go with that.
I mean, I would say Derrick Henry, but Lamar Jackson's too selfish.
You know, Taylor Swift gets more airtime in a Chiefs game than a skateboard does at the X Games.
What's sad is you're not wrong.
I'm on Team Tay-Tay. I mean, I'm a self-admitted a Swiftie, right? But the horseshoe's gonna fall out eventually. Taylor Swift's gotta have to miss a game, and when she does, gotta be the end of it.
Yeah, the 8-0 will turn into 8-1 or 9-1, depending on how things go. And speaking of falling out, it looks like we got the single file formation going here pretty well.
You guys who's hung out to dry?
Yeah, it's well, not hung out to dry anymore. He's got Kinsley Smith behind him, but Dirksen here finally gets a little bit of help.
Mr. Curtis gets a little help from his friend, and that's in the form of Kinsley Smith and Brandon Honeycutt. And you're about to see that 17 car start to make up positions in a hurry. Because I tell you what, when it comes to drafting, Brandon Honeycutt and Kinsley Smith are the best to do it.
Yeah, these two are, I always have my eyes on these two when we go to places like Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta, and this is the exact reason why. It usually takes a lap for these guys to get up to the front when they get hooked up.
Would you say that? They're going to bring Justin Curtis to the front along with him. Here comes Richard Ode, and I got the funniest feeling that, wait for it, there they go. Who didn't see that one coming?
We got up to the front. Now we're gonna leave you. Thanks for playing the game. We got some prizes for you.
Here's the door prizes. By the way, all that ground you just made up, you're gonna lose it.
Yeah, you got up to the front, and thanks for taking us there. Now we're gonna kick you to the curb. Thanks.
That's how my 20s were.
Oh, sounds like a bad Dusty Rhodes promo. Hard times, daddy.
Right now, we got a 4-car breakaway starting to happen here with Brandon Honeycutt, Richard Ode, Kinsley Smith, and Justin Curtis.
Now, that's not exactly a bad thing because with pit stops coming, if you can get a little bit of a gap, you know, it'll be a lot easier coming down pit road than if you're in a whole pack, because if someone screws up in that pack, it's going to take a whole lot of people out or damage a whole lot of people. If you're able to get a little bit of a gap, you can actually kind of maneuver your car a little bit more and actually get down pit road a lot safer.
Breaking news in the garage area, the drone has been Matt Metler.
Oh, dear God, please tell me he did not hit the fans bus. Oh, I'll send somebody down to retrieve the... And we got guys coming on pit road.
As we said that, Greg McConey's coming down pit road. Troy Thomas, Truth Hook. Now, a lot of these guys are able to make this possible due to, you know, being on pit road at first caution. So these guys can make this a one-stop race.
Yeah, they definitely can, because you're looking at it being roughly halfway point now. And a lot of guys who came down pit road only needed an extra couple laps of fuel. So this is actually going to be able to give these guys a big enough window to make this, you know, from here on out, from when they stop. So, and as we say that, here comes the rest of the field.
I like that strategy. Pit on opposite laps. Don't try to bring everybody down at once.
No, it's the last thing you need, because that's a big way to cause a wreck.
Yes. The Uni Goodies headache powder. And then nobody's happy. Bent sheet metal and hurt feelings.
Busted fiberglass and tempers, and next thing you know, it turns into, oh man, Chandler Smith moments all over again.
Oh boy.
I cannot believe Cole Custer still got a black eye from that.
I mean, he's got to be wearing sunglasses.
Oh, be glad he is. Let's put it that way.
Nonetheless, lap 38, here comes Kinsley Smith on pit road, and that's going to turn the race. Well, he's not on pit road now.
No, they're coming up to speed. The rest of the pack is getting ready to catch them.
Yep, you're absolutely correct.
You see, I still know how Talladega works. I haven't been around on the track in a while, but I still know how Talladega works.
You're getting there. You're getting there.
Yeah, we're working on it.
One day at a time.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun off season. I might actually do some more split track racing later, to be honest.
Meanwhile, checking in on the big happenings here with the World of Outlaw World Final. Bobby Pierce will win tonight's 35-lap feature, with Kate Diller finishing second and Mike Marlar finishing third. Now, Shane, I don't know if you follow the World of Outlaws, but
a little bit.
every point matters with the Case Construction World of late models. As they just wrapped up night number 2 of their World Finals down there in Charlotte.
And that's the thing is these guys put on 3 or 4 day shows for these huge events.
Right.
So you got to be able to perform every single night out. And Bobby Pierce has been doing his thing of late.
Yeah, so, he got busted with the tire thing at Volusia.
Yeah.
After Volusia. And he actually appealed it and won. However, they did take the... they didn't take the money away, but they did take the points away. So he was already in a hole before he got started. And the fact that he had battled back all the way to 3rd in outlaw points says a lot about this team.
Yeah, that just says how strong Bobby's car has been. I mean, I've been keeping tabs on things here and there, and Bobby has just been throwing down in that old 3 deuce.
Yeah, and so the other big news that came out of the weekend is big sexy Brandon Overton driving the Longhorn factory team. Now, not to be confused, Shane, it's not the house car, but it is a factory-backed team. So Steve Arpin, who has ran UMP Modified, Rallycross, ARCA.
I know who Steve is.
Yeah, so...
I've talked with Steve a handful of times, actually, way back when.
But checking in, the Super Dirt Car Series, getting ready to run their A-Main. Let's see here. Danny Johnson.
My first thought when you brought up Big Sexy is, wait a minute, Bartolo Colon went dirt track racing? That man needs to be in the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry.
So does Pete Rose, but no one's paying attention to that.
Oh, yeah, that's going to take a while to get fixed, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me. We've discussed that on the morning show, and that would be another beating a dead horse production.
Right now, Brandon Honeycutt, Kinsley Smith, and Richard Ode out to a 3-car breakaway as we are watching these guys come down the back straightaway.
Speaking of beating a dead horse, these 3 up front, I'm not surprised because of how strong these cars are. Now, we've got a 7-car draft behind them. Now, if they can get a little bit more organized, they would be actually able to catch up to that front 3 and actually turn this into something interesting, because now there's no point to save fuel. Just drop the hammer and get it on.
Absolutely. As right now, we are essentially... lap 43 of 75. We're nearing that halfway mark, Shane. And
dude, we're past halfway. We're nearing the 3/4 mark.
Oh, goodness gracious. Dude, I'm tripping.
This is what happens when I actually have a 2-liter bottle of Mountain Dew beside me. I can actually think for once in my life.
Caffeine.
Caffeine helps.
Caffeine.
Always need caffeine. That's the answer to all the world's problems is caffeine.
Well, right now, Terry Fennell is essentially, for better terms, had his fun meter pegged.
Yeah, I would say so.
Or won the race at a beer stand, whichever way you want to spell it.
It's Talladega. He won the race to the infield.
You know, they say Talladega is a track where it's a party where a race breaks out.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I mean, the same could be said for Indianapolis. I mean, the parties they throw for the 500. Oh, by the way, speaking of dirt track racing for a split second, do you hear they're adding Hussets next season for iRacing?
Oh, my goodness. Houston Speedway in Brandon, South Dakota, home of the Billion Auto high limit nationals, or high side nationals. I forget what it's called. And home of the Silver Dollar Nationals run by the Lucas Oil Dirt Late Model Series. And I tell you what, I have been looking forward to that racetrack coming to iRacing because it is one bad, fast racetrack. And just to sling a dirt late model around that track is going to be epic.
I'd say the big thing I'm actually looking forward to is the fact that they finally have gotten a proper Gen 4 getting ready to come out. Granted, it's going to have, with the Superspeedway package, Dale Jr.'s motor in it, so that's going to be some bad, fast racing. We're finally getting updated ARCA cars, thankfully. And just because I love the uniqueness of it, the V8 supercars are actually going to be their current Gen 3 iteration. So to drive a Camaro around Bathurst, I'm looking forward to that.
If only they had rain on the NASCAR track.
Oh, I think that'll be coming eventually. There's a lot of oval stuff coming in March.
Well, I tell you what I'm pushing for, since we're talking about iRacing right now, is they need to update the UMP Dirt Car Modifieds and give us those motor options. Let us do the IMCA motor package as well as the UMP motor package. And let's put those 4-inch spoilers on there.
I'll tell you right now, if we're going to do stuff like that, not everybody runs Hoosiers on their regular, asphalt late models or stuff like that. I've seen guys run McCreary's. I've seen guys run American Racers. Yes, there are Hoosiers that are out there, but give us the tire options, even if it's just graphical. It's just that much difference to say, hey, look, I'm not running Hoosiers, I'm running McCreary's. I'm running American Racers. Give us that option. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, and, I was talking to Colin McDonough off the air about a week the other night. And I was telling Colin, I said, look, man, you guys are in, the hotbed. Here in the Midwest, we don't get to see a lot of the super dirt car series, which are your big block modifieds of the Northeast.
Yeah.
And, I growing up, I was always a huge Brett Hearn fan. And still am. But, just the fact that they have those cars in there. And, I would love to see an Osh weekend on there. We got or Bridgeport Speedway. And I tell you what, Shane, I'm sure you've watched them, but if you get a chance to go watch a super dirt car modified race, that is a sight to be seen. Now, they do run series where they do run American Racers on those cars.
I've seen it, dude. I've also seen, the clear 4-inch spoilers. Dave and I were talking a couple of days ago, and I also brought up the fact that there needs to be more, special events in iRacing. Because, yes, we've got the big events, the 12 Hours of Sebring, the 24 at Daytona, the 500, the full-distance NASCAR races, Bathurst, and a handful of others. But there needs to be more. I would love to have it where we have like the 200 lappers that the modifieds ran at Martinsville. Or like when we finally get a chance, the All-American 400 at Nashville for the late models. Or, take your pick, the World 100. Or a Prelude to the Dream for the dirt late models. Things like that would be amazing draws for iRacing.
Yeah, and to back up that point and driving home, I mean, so far we got the Knoxville Nationals, the Chili Bowl, and I believe, don't quote me on this, but give it a couple seasons, we're gonna see the Tulsa Shootout come to iRacing.
That would be amazing to see, but yeah, the only big dirt races that are out there is the Chili Bowl and the Knoxville Nationals. There needs to be a little bit more of a representation for that. And there also needs to be a little more of a representation for the local short track level. Because, yeah, we have, the Snowball Derby. And that's literally it for the local short track cars. There has to be more of a representation. We have 3 huge events here in Maine alone. Yeah. So there needs to be a lot more of a representation for the short track level. I mean, you could get 200-300 cars show up for a week of, running. Again, you could put the late models at Martinsville. That 300 lapper would be a huge draw. So give us a few more of the big short track events, and I can guarantee you can fill out that calendar like there's no tomorrow.
Well, I will tell you this, though, and I quietly hope this happens. I would love to see Florence scanned in.
Yes. Give me the Florence 400. Give me that all day long, and I'm happy. Not just because, Junior's going to be doing his thing and bringing the Bud 8 back, but I have seen a couple of events there, courtesy of YouTube. That track is amazing to watch action on. And I think Junior's kind of got a twinkle in his eye about getting it scanned, so it may not be out of the realm of possibility yet, but, again, other places I'd love to see scanned: Salem, Toledo, Winchester, places like that. Those huge events would be monstrous on iRacing.
Well, if you can't be at Florence, Shane, you can always watch the Florence 400 on Flow Racing.
Don't tempt me. I might actually do that for that weekend. I got nothing else going on. I got certain things saved on my Xbox and on my PC, so don't tempt me.
Right now, Kinsley Smith not being tempted right now.
Yeah, these three are just riding. These three are just riding right now and keeping that much of a gap. It looks like it's shortened up a little bit. I don't want to say it's much, but holy cow, the rest of this train, the rest of the field is lined up, and they're trying to run that top three down.
Yeah, and so right now, we're working lap 53, and Shane, this is one of those spots in the races where there's kind of a lull in the action. Like, no one's really trying to be overly aggressive and make those, out of character moves and put yourself in a bad situation, because you're wanting to be there at the end.
The only problem is lulls like this are what cause the big wrecks. Because you kind of get, comfortable in the car. You're just kind of keep an eye on your mirror in the straightaways. You kind of check it in the corner once or twice. But right now, you're just riding. And there will be that moment where the brain has its own little shutdown split second. And that's what's going to cause the mistake that puts everyone in the fence. So right now, your best bet is just kind of keep yourself active. Check the mirror at least 4 times. If you're doing it 3 times on the straightaway, check it 4. If you're checking the mirror once or twice in the corner to see who's behind you or who's getting a run, check it that 3rd time on exit. As we see, who is that that's trying to speed up the hill?
It's Chris Blasi looking to the outside of Greg McConey. Thinks better of it. We're going to come back down that back straightaway. Well, we're coming to the child here to get 25 laps to go here from Talladega Superspeedway. Shane, we're going to go ahead and take our one and only commercial break here tonight. And
I was about to say 25 laps to go. No, dude, it's only 20.
20.
Yeah, it's 20 laps, dude.
21.
There we go. You see, we're mathing here, ladies and gentlemen. We got a break coming.
We are now. Anyways, we're going to go side by side. You have this thing here on Sim Race Media. I'm Alan Bergen. He's Shane Lake, and we'll be right back.
Imagine a theater experience so real you're part of the action. Breakthrough technology that shakes your seat at precisely the right moment so you can feel the action on the screen. Choose 4D Cinemas powered by Butt Kicker for the ultimate theater experience. And for the ultimate in movies, gaming, and sports at home, add your own Butt Kicker. A simple, wireless, affordable device that takes just seconds to install. Text the word on the screen right now to receive a special offer. Get Butt Kicker and feel what you've been missing.
Welcome back to Talladega Superspeedway as we are 16 laps to go. Kinsley Smith continues to lead along with Brandon Honeycutt and Richard Ode. Right now we're watching Troy Thomas catch up to those top three cars, and Shane, they're bringing Greg McConey, Chris Blasi, and Rowan Lloyd right along with them.
Man, they're bringing everybody with them. What are you talking about? They have been eating into this thing since that round of pit stops. And I have a feeling that within the next 3-4 laps that this whole field is about to get jumbled up, and we're going to have ourselves a race to the finish.
Yeah, unlike your partner on Sunday night, I don't fall asleep.
Oh, dear God. I spent 60 laps trying to wake him up, and it just didn't work.
Hey, I went to night too, so.
And I stand corrected as everyone decided to shut me up. It ain't going to take 3 or 4 laps. It took 3 or 4 seconds for them to get up there, and now we got a race on our hands.
Yeah, I mean, this thing is far from over. It's Kinsley Smith continues to lead. You know, Troy Thomas, Shane, I don't think we give Troy Thomas enough credit, as he's one of those drivers that are also, you know, just quietly waiting, quietly being patient, just rides around. You know, I don't talk about him enough and how great of a super speedway driver he is. Now, he's pretty versatile. He runs really good on the road courses also, as a driver out of Boone, North Carolina. He currently rides in that 4th position.
Yeah, and right now he's kind of in a window where he's still sniffing the draft off 3rd place, and he's got McConey pushing him, while the top 2 cars are trying to check out. So I don't know if they're going to be able to have much of anything. I mean, we're coming up from here with 12 to go. Well, 13 to go. Now it's going to be 12 next time by. Those top 2 cars, Kinsley Smith and Brandon Honeycutt, are trying to check out on everybody.
Yeah, and, you know, going back to Greg or Kinsley Smith and Brandon Honeycutt, watching these 2 guys, that's Brandon Honeycutt out of Elizabethton, Tennessee. Say that one 5 times fast.
I'd rather not. My tongue gets twisted enough in the morning, so. I had to bring up 38-day-old Mayo as part of a joke on Monday, and it hasn't gone away since. And now I have a feeling it has been transferred here.
Yes.
Oh.
You know, and I'm sure that we got to get the Snowman on one of our broadcasts.
If he's available, he's usually either broadcasting a college football game or a basketball game on Friday nights.
I mean, it don't have to necessarily be Friday night; it could be Thursday night with you and Regal.
He's usually calling the Thursday night game of the week for football.
Oh boy! Look, when you're the Snowman and you run Snowman Multimedia, you are one busy snowman.
And right now, this whole field just got busy because the majority of them just came down pit road, I'm a little surprised. These guys don't. I guess they couldn't think they make it to the end on fuel.
Well, right now this is going to be at least a gas and a go. I don't think they're going to take right sides.
No, this is a 4-second stop. If their tires are worn out, Talladega doesn't tend to do that much. These guys are just going to stop in for fuel, hightail it out, and try to make up that gap one more time.
And here they go. Greg McConey going to win the race off pit road. Kirby Wainscott and Andrew Tutt, the Chicken Coop Racing contingent, came down pit road with the Outsiders contingent.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting mix on how these guys blend once those top few cars come in, which they have done.
Right now, we're looking at Judson Curtis. That is not a sight that you want to see out on the island of misfit drivers.
I'm sure right now the CD player is currently playing Lonely Road because that's the only place he is.
Hey, do you know that Kirby doesn't like to make toys?
Really?
Yeah, Kirby doesn't like to make toys. He wants to be a dentist.
I thought you were going to come up with some weird Nintendo stuff or something.
No.
That just aged me right there, talking about Kirby as a Nintendo game. That just aged me. I take shots at myself plenty. I don't need anyone else to do it for me. That tends to happen.
You know, Kirby was the name of the elf on Rudolph's Red-Nosed Reindeer. You know, Rudolph?
Yeah, I remember. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But I usually didn't pay attention much to that because I was like 5 when I was watching it.
10 to go here, and Brendan Honeycutt has control of this field right now. Now, these guys, I believe, came down on lap 65.
Yeah, they just came down a couple laps ago. And now we're going to have to wait and see if these two are going to be able to run away from everybody to settle the race amongst themselves, or if that back 7 or 8 cars will be able to close back up one more time, run them down, and turn this into something exciting.
I mean, we got 9 laps to figure this one out.
Yeah, and the gap to third is what, about 3 seconds, 4 seconds, something like that?
3, a little over 3 seconds.
3 seconds, 9 laps. If they were organized, I'm sure they could do it. So we may not be done with some fireworks here tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
8 laps to go. There you see it. There's the eyeball test from Kinsley Smith to Greg McConey. And they're down to about 2 seconds from Kinsley Smith back to Greg McConey.
I'm sure McConey's on the radio right now to everybody. Just stay in line. We're going to wheel these boys in. Then we can start fighting.
Kirby Wainscott, Colonel Kirby, formerly known as Colonel Kirby. Now he's just Kirby.
Yeah, that black and blue Racers Elite car. Dave and I was talking about it yesterday, and that thing looks good.
Yeah, I mean, he was running the KFC car.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, he had too many crispy finishes.
I got nothing for it. Lap number 7, or 7 to go. Brendan Honeycutt still leading this one. Greg McConey just trying to do everything he can.
Kirby just needs to be glad it wasn't Target on that car because there'd be bullseye jokes all over the place.
Oh, you're not wrong.
And I'm sure Kinsley's looking in the mirror, seeing McConey getting bigger, and he's like, well, it's about to be go time, because here we come.
And just as you said it there, Shane, here comes Greg McConey bringing Kirby Wainscott and Rowan Lloyd with them on the outside in 6 laps to go. We got a half a dozen laps to go.
That top lane was just hauling mail. Honeycutt and Kensley were fried on that one. There was no chance they're going to hold them off. But now they need to latch back onto the back of this pack and then try to work together again to get back up to the front, because Barney's looking over here in 3 and 4 with a handful ready to drop, because we're coming up on 5 to go.
Yeah, we're getting ready to get the handshake lap. 5 phalanges, if you will. Greg McConey, Kirby, Wayne Scott, Rowan Lloyd. That is your top 3 right now. As Kinsley Smith and Brandon Honeycutt essentially have fallen back to 6th and 7th, respectively. We have 5 phalanges in there, 5 laps to go here from Talladega.
And the pack has split itself up again, and it's getting dicey. Unfortunately, though, Honeycutt and Kenzie aren't getting anybody to work with them. That inside line's still going to be strong, because 3 cars are going to be quicker than 2. But Kirby's going to try to suck up to the back end of Kenzie Smith and try to give them a little bit of help on the outside. I don't know if it's going to be enough to get around McConey or not.
I want to say it is. I don't know. I mean, we got 3 wide right here. Chris Blasi. Wow, I'm so forgetful right now.
Well, right now, Honeycutt is loving this because he's able to run that right side pretty much up against the fence. But doing so now, the top 2 cars have realized what's going on. They're going to force Honeycutt to go down to the bottom to try to make moves, and Kenzie Smith can't get down there yet. Now he slides in behind Honeycutt. We're going to have ourselves now a very fun final 3.5 laps.
Right now we're watching with 4 laps to go. Getting ready to come to 3 laps to go. Brandon Honeycutt and Kinsley Smith doing Kinsley Smith and Brandon Honeycutt things.
And McConey was smart right there. He broke them up just enough to retake the lead.
So here we are, 3 laps to go. Kinsley Smith, Brandon Honeycutt. And then on the outside line, Greg McConey and Rowan Lloyd out of Hudson, Illinois. These guys are shoving the bejeebus out of each other.
Yeah, and that top lane is more established. So unfortunately, Honeycutt and Kenzie are going to fall to the back of this line. 2.5 laps to try to get back up to the front. They're going to have to hope all these guys start racing each other hard, because that's the only way they're going to have a shot at winning this race. Because I have a feeling McConey's going to be able to hold Lloyd off.
Three laps to go. Coming down to get 2 to go.
The popsicle sticks are in the air, ladies and gentlemen. 2 laps to go, and the line has split itself up again. We're going 3 wide, getting ready to go down into turn number 1.
Now, Shane, this is where a lot of the calamity can happen. Not saying it's not a matter if the wreck happens, it's a matter of when.
And right now, McConey's hoping he's not involved in it. He wants to get to the white flag, because the next flag will end this race if it's under green. And here comes Kenzie Smith on the high side by himself. We're going 3 wide for the lead going into turn 3 and 4. And, oh my goodness, McConey gets shuffled up to the top side. Kenzie Smith's going to fall towards the back of this pack.
Yeah, here comes Kinsley Smith right in the back. That's the one place you don't ever see him. The popsicle sticks are going to go down the white flag. They're going to come out. We're racing back to check.
Now can Kenzie Smith and that Napa 15 pull the rabbit out of his hat? The front 2 are starting to pull away just a little bit. It gets 3 wide in front of Kensley. He's got nowhere to go except into the back end of McConey, trying to help push him. Are they going to have enough time to get one last one to get up to the front, or are they doomed?
I tell you what, to give enough credit to Chris Blasi, Chris Blasi has ran a spectacular race right now as we are coming into the last turn.
Yeah, and they've got some lap traffic in front of them. Which way is that lap traffic going to go? Blase's got Honeycutt pushing them. I don't know if they're going to get to that lap traffic in time. Kirby's going to fall off a little bit, try to pick up McConey. I don't think it's going to be enough. Can Honeycutt make the move? We're going into the tri-oval. He looks. He is not going to get there, maybe. Oh, I think it's Blase by about a bumper.
It hasn't changed.
Blase gets it by a bumper.
Let's go and take a look at that.
Now, Honeycutt was smart. He sold Blase a dummy going up to the top shelf and then cut underneath them. It's just he didn't have enough momentum to get there. Yeah, it's Blase by about a bumper. I saw that. I saw the brief flash. It's Blase by a bumper.
There you have it. Chris Blasi burning it down here.
Unbelievable.
Getting those congratulatory bumps from Troy Thomas and Colin McDonough. He's on his cool down lap.
Oh, Talladega never fails to give us spectacular finishes, and this was another one.
As we are going to start getting these guys up to the broadcast booth here. There. You know, it's kind of weird that Greg McConaughey ends up on the podium once again. Nonetheless, Brandon Honeycutt declining the interview. Shane,
yeah,
we're going to have you talk with Mr. Chris Blasi.
Hey, Chris, I'm down here in Victory Lane with you, buddy. You had yourself a strong race here for Talladega. We kept an eye on you throughout the run you had with the top 5, and you end up holding off Brandon Honeycutt by about a bumper, dude. Talk to us about this race.
Oh man, yeah, it was intense there at the end.
Yeah, the thing about it, we throughout the pit stops, we were keeping an eye on you because we knew you had a decent enough car to try to get up there, and you were just stalking, and you were able to actually get it up there right at the end. How did this race break down for you?
Man, this Outsiders team, we just work together as much as we can and strategize with each other. Man, it's just a team win. Brandon raced super clean on that last lap, pushing me. He was trying to get me loose, and that was fun.
Yeah, we were watching the tail end of that, and Brandon just about had it sold off for you. If it was another 100 feet down the track, I don't know how this finish would have been, but you know, that's one of those situations where be glad to start finish line is where it is, right?
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, about 100 feet more, it probably would have been a different outcome.
Well, before we let you celebrate this win, man, who do you got to thank that helps you get it done on that hot rod here tonight?
Oh man, all the Outsiders guys. Like I said, we just work as a team, man. It's a lot of fun running with them guys. I normally don't on Wednesday nights, but Friday nights I always do.
Hey, congratulations on this big old win here at Talladega, man. You gave us a thrill of a finish. Go celebrate this win.
Yeah, man. See you guys next week. Have a good rest of your week, and we'll do it again Friday.
Sounds good, man.
All right, and that was the voice of Chris Blasi. We're going to bring up Greg McConaughey, who finished third. Greg McConaughey, it's Alan and Shane up in the SRM booth. You got a copy.
What's up, boys?
Well, your what's up, rounding out that podium, and Greg, I tell you what, you have been just on fire here. I don't think there's an event on this series that you haven't finished on or close to the podium.
Yeah, I've had a couple interesting ones, but no, it was fun. It was a big team effort tonight, so glad Chris was able to take the win and get it. And you know, it was great working with Troy and Rowan and those guys. You know, that whole last segment after the caution, and the fact that we were able to run that group down as a group of 4 was remarkable.
Yeah, definitely. We were watching you guys draft up after these pit stops, and you were leading that freight train pretty good, man. How strong was that car tonight?
Oh, this car was on rails all night long. You know, I love running these Fords here at these super speedways. They're so much fun to push, you know, and be the guy pushing. They give such a good push all the way around. No, that was fun. I was real worried there. I thought we'd catch that second group, but you know, my spotter was telling me, hey, yeah, the lead group's 7.5 seconds ahead of that pack. And I'm like, oh boy, we're gonna have our work cut out for us. I thought it was over at that point, but we got around that second group, and I just told those guys with me, I said, all right, you know, I'm gonna keep pushing you, Troy. And I think it was Troy that I was pushing. I told him, I was like, I'm just gonna keep pushing. You do what we do, and we're gonna catch them. We'll give it our best shot.
Yeah, nonetheless. Before we get you out of here, though, is there anybody that you'd like to thank that helped get you here tonight?
I got to thank all the guys that are hanging out in that channel with us. Truth, Rowan, Troy, Chris. I think I'm missing somebody. No. Yeah, Chris, Rowan, Troy, Truth, all those guys. That was fantastic racing from us. You know, Honeycutt and Kensley and everybody else that races in this league. You know, that this was a fantastic show. I know we only had 14 guys, but for 14, I think we put on a heck of a show. Andrew does a fantastic job with this league, so I'm happy to come out here and run with them. I got to thank my sponsors, Boffman Excavating and Magical Mama's Creations and Collectibles, which is my wife's company. You can find her on Whatnot. Just look up Magical Mama. She does shows every Monday and Friday nights at 8:30, selling a bunch of stuff. So big shout out to her, and thanks to you guys. You guys put on a great show. Can't wait to go back and watch this one. Yeah, no, it was fun. I loved every minute of it.
All right, Greg, on that note, we're going to get you on out of here, let you celebrate that podium with the rest of the outsiders, and we'll see you on next Friday night.
Appreciate it, guys. You have a good one.
And that was the voice of Greg McConey. Maybe. There we go. Shane, you know, we slid in hot. We got her done. Let's go over those final results here. 14 cars taking time and 13 finishing the race. Chris Blasi picks up the win here tonight with Brandon Honeycutt finishing second. Greg McConey on rounding out your podium. Kinsley Smith will finish out your fourth position, while rounding out your top five will be Colonel Kirby Wainscott. Richard Ode will be finishing sixth. Roland Lloyd out of Hudson, Illinois, he'll finish seventh. Chase Greer will finish eighth, right where he started. Troy Thomas down 6 positions at number 3 for Dark Horse Mustang. He will finish ninth. Rounding out your top 10 will be teammate here at Sim Racing Media, Colin McDonough. Wow. While 11th goes to Chief Cooking Bottle Washer Andrew Tuft. Jade Judson Curtis will finish 12th. Truth Hoke will finish 13th. And Shane winning the race of the beer stand tonight is none other than Terry Fennell in that Atlanta Braves car. That will round out your 13 starting cars here as we get ready to wrap this thing on up. Shane, any final thoughts before we get out of here, out of Talladega?
I'm never disappointed when it comes to a race here, whether I'm actually in it or broadcasting it. There's always some crazy sort of finish, and quite frankly, Talladega lived up to it again, and I cannot wait to see what happens next Friday night with these guys. It'll be another thriller, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, we're going to go ahead and get out of here, and Shane, take us home, my guy.
We want to thank everybody for tuning in, whether it's been on your phones, your computers, or those big screens TVs that you have. For everybody here at SRM, including my producer, Alan Bergen, I am Shane Lake. And as we say tomorrow and every day as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic. And until we meet again, everybody, take care.